Hey, what's up? I'm Roller Coaster Rider,
Hi, I'm Kay.
and this is the Coaster Cat Checks Out Alabama and Louisiana trip, or whatever I'm gonna call this episode. Uh, while we did go to those two states, we also technically drove through Mississippi, so technically we went to three states.
Right. Well, you had to drive through Mississippi to get to the Gulf Shores.
Yeah, and this trip was mostly centered around going to Waterville because the Cannonball Run coaster was is going to be closing in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you want her, here you go. Ooh, looks like the Central Park. Looks like the New York Public Library. Anyway, so what we flew American, right?
Yes.
Flew American out of O'Hare.
A late
Um,
flight.
yeah, I got a cranberry juice.
Maybe. I got a Diet Coke.
No, you got a regular Coke.
Or a regular Coke. Sorry. Thanks.
And so then we checked in. Then we got the shuttle to. No, we went to the
No,
rental
we
car.
got the rental car. Right.
We got the rental car to go in a half an hour to go to the hotel.
Yeah. We stayed at a hotel, so
Mm-hmm.
because we were getting in close to midnight. So
Yeah.
it just made sense, and that way we could get more sleep and be able to get up and start our journey over to the Gulf Shores of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And that was quite a journey.
Now, in hindsight, we probably should have left earlier,
Right.
but
We did need a little bit of sleep.
but
Okay? Come
but
on.
due to traffic and weather, what was supposed to take about 3 hours ended up taking about 5 hours,
Five and a
folks.
half.
And here's a tip, folks. It doesn't matter if your drive is an hour or 5 hours or 10 hours. Please make sure you have something to drink, like water, soda, tea, juice, whatever.
Well, we thought we would be able to find a place that you could just get off. No, it's like not really at
It's
the
long stretches
exits.
of nothing.
Yeah.
It's long stretches of trees.
And then even the waysides, their beverage
Yeah,
machines
they're
were
vending.
jammed. They
Yeah.
didn't work. So we learned a lesson.
Mm-hmm. So,
I had my M&Ms though.
I don't think I had any, but so then, uh, like after or like 20 minutes from Waterville in Gulf Shores, Alabama, I was like, "Okay, I can't take it anymore. I need to get something to drink."
Yep. So we pulled off to a Walmart.
Yeah, $20. I got two Smart Waters, regular Coke,
Hmm.
a regular Coke, and a Mountain Dew Voltage.
Well, we
I'm
got change too. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Voltage personally. It's the ginseng that makes it healthy. I don't think you should do that. It might make her sick. So then finally we went to Waterville. Kay was wondering like, is this like some small little coaster? Like I don't see it anywhere. And then we get into the parking lot and I'm like, "Do you see it now?" And she's like, "Yes, I see it."
it was
Uh,
spread out.
well, not so much spread out, but yeah, I guess sure. Um,
And then after you wrote it, I had a hard time getting a picture with the
now
sign.
the
The sign was
no,
way up.
let's backtrack a little bit. I was worried that the ride wasn't operating because the train wasn't going.
Right.
And I was like, please don't tell me this is closed. After like the 5 hours and us having car conversations, it's like, please tell me this ride is open. So I go into the arcade, which you can, or the building, which is the arcade, you can
Hmm.
kind of tell that Waterville is on its last leg because there were more employees than guests.
Right. But the water park was closed.
Yeah, there were like, including us, I'm going to be nice and say there were three people there.
Hmm. I think they need to get like a miniature golf
They
or
have mini
go
golf.
kart.
They have go karts.
But why weren't they open?
That is the $1 million question.
Huh. because the park next to them had their go-karts going in the
Yeah.
rain.
Maybe it was just a distance thing or a price thing or I don't know. So anyway, I went on the Cannonball Run. Um, I rode it. Ask me how it was.
How was it?
I rode it.
Okay.
I rode it twice
All right.
because you get 2 rides for one price.
Okay, there you go.
That's all I have to say. But yeah, I was like,
It was white.
yeah, I was like, is the ride operating? And they were like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, phew, because this rarely happens to me. I was the only one on that coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was pretty shaky. And you're probably thinking, oh, you were just in the wrong seat in the back. Maybe you should have sat up front. I sat in the very front row. I think I might have gotten a few pops of air, a few minor floats. But it's one of those rides, and Kay, you know this all too well, where at the dips, you can tell it hasn't been maintained or yeah, not necessarily maintained, but it hasn't been retracked in a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you kind of hit the bottom.
it's not as terrible as the coaster you're thinking of, but it's still pretty noticeable. You can tell there's a lot of old sections because it has those areas haven't been painted as much. There's a lot of spots. So anyway, then we were done with that park.
But at least you got to ride it
Yes.
before it gets, torn down or closed.
And then we
forever.
went to Owa. Okay, Owa.
Oh, what a time we had.
I like that you have a sign that says "Welcome to the Owa Resort Complex" or whatever. That's great. You should probably have another one, or you should probably have one that says "Distance 10 miles" or
Yeah.
so. Because the one that we took, which was. People in Alabama are gonna really hate me. I can't remember, but it's like it's kind of like the main road, the strip. It has Lambert's Cafe. It has what else?
Oh, just everything that you can imagine.
Yeah, it has a bunch of weird stuff. It has a bunch of stores. Yeah, that. Sure, whatever. So then after about 10 miles, we finally what?
Right. Well, what it did is they took us all the way around. If they would have had a sign that said shopping and amusement park and did a different entrance, that would have been great. But they're around the whole complex.
And there's multiple entrances in. We're talking about the one that was near like the big sign.
Right. And to get back to where we were going, this road that went completely around it, there were roundabouts in the road too. I think at least
Yeah.
two of them.
So we were like, are we going the right way? I think you were wondering that. Especially since it was a not 2 lane but 2 road.
It was 4 lanes.
4 lanes. So when there were cars going, we were like, are we going the right way? Like, are we going to the exit?
Well, I mean, even in the roundabout,
Mm-hmm.
it was like really kind of weird. But
Oh,
we made it.
should we say why? Or, no, let's never mind. Okay, so then we finally got to Owa. Looking at the brochure of the resort, it makes it look like all the stuff is very spaced apart.
Well, this is the parking lot. Where's the resort? This
Here's
one?
the park and here's the shopping area.
Yeah.
It makes it look like things are very spaced out. That's not true. They're like really close to each other. Okay?
Mhm.
So then we cool concerts. So
But I didn't go into a lot of this back area.
we didn't really go into the area.
I didn't go past like the main shopping and that.
Yeah, we didn't go past downtown Owa. Like we didn't go. Did we go to Auntie Anne's?
No, I saw it.
Okay.
But
So I went in immediately. Went to the amusement park because I knew that they were going to close in about 2 hours.
right, and with the rain that we were
It was
going through.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
There were more people at the park at Owa than at Waterville.
Oh yeah.
And even though it was newer, it looked more.
It
It
looked very clean, taken
well,
care of.
it looked like it had been there for a while. It looked more permanent,
Mm.
like it was maybe like 20 years old. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Owa. Which, by the way, that means big water in the Muskogee Creek language, I believe. So then, I knew what the deal was. And Kay had to use the bathroom. So, I asked the ladies if she could use the bathroom because there's a bathroom right by the entrance.
Hmm.
And I said, would that be okay? They were like, sure. I was like, does she need to buy a ticket? And they're like, no. And I was like, Kay, get over here. Go.
But right across the plaza, there was a bathroom too.
Sorry.
Well, they made sure as soon as I got out of the bathroom that I exited.
Yeah. I hope that was okay.
Hmm.
So, the first ride I went on,
Did you go through the main one that was like across the whole park?
yeah, I went on that coaster. The
Or
first
was
one,
that the first one?
no, that was the second one. Second one, third ride. The first one I went on was the Crazy Mouse, where, oh, well, you should probably have your queue lines painted a different color than your exits, because it looked like there was one. It looked like there was a queue line as part of the exit of a ride. So I had to ask, like, is this the entrance? Is this the queue line? They were like, yeah. So I rode the Crazy Mouse by myself. Like, I spent, nah, I was gonna say I spent more time in line than riding, but that's not true. So I rode that. That was fun. It was a nice throwback to the,
There's two of them.
it was a nice throwback to to spinning wild mice coasters I've ridden, like the one that used to be at Great America and other spinning coasters. It's not as bad as the one at what was that park? Lightwater Valley. Wait,
Huh?
yeah, it's not as no, not that one. Or was it that one?
So it was a better maintained one.
Yeah, and it was newer, so that probably made the difference. Then I wrote something I've been curious about, the Alabama Whamma, which is a Zamperla Endeavor, which is essentially Zamperla's
That one?
no, that one.
This?
Yeah, which is essentially a Enterprise style ride, except you ride in seats similar to an inverted coaster, like an SLC, like a Mind Eraser, or a Batman the Ride, or Raptor, or Dueling Dragons, or whatever rides. Okay, are you okay?
Hmm.
Uh,
It's just that I feel like the list of the rides should be by the rides
yeah.
in the brochure.
But hey, O1 needs to, mention that they have shops and stuff, so you can buy and spend.
But if you have the brochure, you have shops right there, dining,
Yeah, anyway.
and the arcade.
But I know what you're saying. It should probably be, like, on another page or something.
Well,
So,
right,
anyway.
right here.
So anyway, I rode it. Was I had heard that the ride was rough, painful, and not fat friendly. All of those are entirely wrong. The ride is smooth. It does put some pressure on your legs, but not so much that it's like, oh my god, I need to go to the hospital. Like I've experienced worse. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the G forces or something. And yeah, the ride is very size friendly. I was worried like you might have to push, and then I pushed down the restraints, and I actually had some slack.
Oh, good.
Hmm. I also had been on a liquid diet for a few days, so maybe that had some.
Does it's sort of like a Ferris wheel, how it goes?
No,
or
it's like the orbit that used to be here.
we still have an orbit.
No, we got rid of it. It's now that area is now the lobster.
Oh, got it. Sorry. But it just looks like they swing out a little more. They're not as close as like what ours is.
I don't understand, but okay, let's move on.
Okay.
After that, then we go to number 14, where I rode the Rollin' Thunder, a Zamperla Thunderbolt model. Hyde says it's one of the worst coasters he's ever been on. Um, I don't know. I guess I've been on rougher coasters, or I just had a good ride. Hey, he's had good rides on rough coasters, so I guess he should have a rough ride on an okay coaster. I don't know.
Okay. So it looks like, is this in the beginning? The
Yeah,
large up and
there's a
then
bit. There's a
down?
vertical lift, almost a vertical drop, a loop. Then there's a zero G roll.
So
Then
then
yeah,
it looks almost like an out and back coming back
it
then.
is an out and back. And I kind of did. I didn't really do a jab, but I kind of mentioned to them something that I found funny was that the press release or newspaper they said that the ride, which is like 2,500 feet long, one roller it said roller coaster rivaling the longest in the U.S.
That
Um,
was a few years ago.
Even when it opened, it wasn't true.
I think the Beast is longer, isn't it?
Yes, and I was,
But when you come
but yeah,
out of here, you just come around and then all of
you
a
take
sudden
a
you
U-turn
shoot
and
up.
then go up a lift hill. Yeah,
That is like a straight up lift hill.
yeah, it's almost 100 feet.
Isn't it sort of like the straight up that you did like in the toboggan or the
No,
volcano
this is fun.
or the volcano at
It's
that one
more
park?
it's more like a Rage at Adventure Island, which had a vertical lift and a
Oh,
beyond
okay.
vertical drop. But but yeah, I was telling people, I like that coaster. I think it's a fine ride. It is not one of the longest coasters in the United States. It's not even the longest coaster in Alabama.
How many was it just two rows of a car?
3 rows.
Three rows. Two each in a row?
No, it's 3. No, it's 3 across. It's not 4 across or 2 across. It's 3 across.
But how many you have? Okay, so it's 3 by 3. 9 people can ride.
I think so.
Okay.
Which they think it's in the loop says it's kind of odd. It is kind of odd that it's 3 across instead of it being 2 across or 4 across. But hey, if Zamperla is comfortable with that design and that's what park manufacturers want, or maybe that's the only
Owa
version.
bought it, so
Yeah.
hey.
Well, Owa bought nothing but Zamperla
Oh,
rides.
they must have got a good discount. A good
Um,
rate.
what the oh god, I can't remember who he is. He's like, let's just say he's the park president. He said by building rides from one manufacturer, you only have to build the rides one way. You only have to train the mechanics one way or one time, and I guess there's also a package deal with it because they were pretty
Okay.
busy putting a whole bunch of these rides and
Because they have what, 21 rides?
yeah, 21 rides.
Oh,
And all of
Zamperla. Huh.
Yep. And what
Did
was
you ride anything next?
yes, the final one, which
The Southern Express?
yeah, the Southern Express, which was this small family kids coaster. Um yeah, small kids coaster and I was by myself, but then there was this little girl who came up and I was like, "What's your name?" And she didn't want to say anything. I can't remember her name. Let's just say her name was Kelly. So I was like, "We're riding her coaster." I asked her like, "Which row do you want to sit in?" Because it's a ride. It's a ride for her because she's significantly younger and shorter than me. So I was like, "Where do you want to sit?" "I want to sit in the front." "Okay, I'll sit in the back. And that's when Owa, meaning Big Water, turned into Big Rainstorm.
Water. Big
Yeah.
water.
More like splash water. Because at that point, then there was a torrential downpour. Props to Owa, they still kept the coaster going, and I kind of made a joke to the ride operator. I wanted you guys to add a water ride. I guess you did. But
Because
yeah.
you came off drenched.
Yeah, I came off very drenched. So drenched that I spun out my shirt in a bathroom at one of the food places. So we didn't really want to drive there, and plus we were kind of hungry. So I was thinking like I wanted to eat at Groovy Goat just because that name sounded weird.
Hmm.
But even people
Sounded groovy.
but even people at Owa said, it's not that great. It's overpriced or something.
Yeah.
No, And then Kay, she watches the show, so she was like, "Well, let's eat at Wahlburgers." And I'm like, "Okay." Um,
which was very good.
yeah, they have a lot of not props, but they have a lot of movie posters from movies that Mark Wahlberg has been in. I
Well,
don't.
and it also had the
Yeah,
TV show that his brother is in,
yeah, and yeah, there's a
Blue
bunch Blue
Bloods.
Bloods. Yeah,
And they also have a burger named after his now wife, Jenny McCarthy, the Jen Burger.
they're still married. I thought they broke up.
No, I thought they were still married.
Hmm.
But
So
you
anyway,
got a T-shirt there, and I got
don't
a
you want to say what we ate?
coffee mug. Oh,
I had.
Oh,
Oh.
you said don't you want to say?
Good.
So
You
I
go.
thought,
You
hey,
go.
okay.
Go.
Since I'm gluten wheat free, I had the portobello sandwich with a gluten free bun. So it was portobello mushrooms done perfectly grilled, grilled onions, and more grilled smaller button mushrooms, a mozzarella cheese, and a tomato. Really good. And then there you have to order sides differently.
Yeah,
But they did offer a bunch of different sides. So if
that's a
they,
complaint that I have. I don't like it when like you're gonna get a burger or a sandwich. Duh, I want fries. It's like
but they had a lot of different things.
the only way you can get a burger or sandwich with fries is if you order from the kids menu. And they're not what did she say? They're not age specific or something?
Right. We could have ordered from the kids menu.
Yeah,
They
but
would have let us.
that would have
But
let
I
me
must
drink my
say,
little soda.
my portobello mushroom sandwich was excellent. It was large and it was very good. And the gluten free the bun didn't fall apart a lot. And
It wasn't like dried out gluten free
no,
bread
it
that
was
we've had
good.
before.
And I got sweet potato tater tots with a cranberry oleo or olei or whatever how you
Oleo.
say. That was so good. And on the portobello, I was ordering a honey or no,
Mustard.
honey garlic, and it was like a honey mustard garlic. So it was okay, but
And I had sloppy joes, or I had a sloppy joe that had crispy onion straws, and
that's their mother's favorite.
and Kay was nice enough to also get regular fries because sweet potato,
But they were crunchy and good.
yeah.
And they were gluten free.
And two of the sauces that we had, or maybe one of them was like I was asking what kind of sauce is this, and she said it's ketchup and mayonnaise, and I'm like, man, we've been doing that for years.
Yeah. I think that started in Colorado, actually.
And then another one was like mustard and mayonnaise, and I told Kay, it's like, well, guess what we're having when we get home.
Yeah. It was good, though.
Yeah, the only problem
I
is
did not
yeah,
mind paying for the sandwich because it was a large size,
I did mind paying for the sides.
but you didn't pay for them. I did, so I didn't mind.
I didn't mind, or I
You didn't mind me paying, and then you got a shirt and we got a coffee mug for
Yeah.
Joe or whoever.
yeah. Then we went into a gift shop.
Yes, because you wanted a magnet.
We went. What was the name of the shop? Was it the
It was something along the islands type.
Alvin's Island? Alvin's Island?
Yeah, probably.
That's the only island one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Alvin Island.
they had a lot of stuff for swimming and a
They
lot,
also had a lot of
everything in there
the-
said OWA.
Yeah, that's one thing I will give them respect is that as opposed to just getting stuff that say like have fun or rock on
Or
or
Alabama or Gulf Shores or whatever.
Birmingham or
They
Foley.
had tons of
They
stuff
had
that
tons of
said
stuff that said OWA.
Yeah. And OWA is just how it sounds, OWA.
Mm-hmm.
And if the weather was nicer, I might have considered doing longer at that park. But
You
the
weren't. You
weather-
didn't go in that part.
I know, but I would have considered it.
Really?
Maybe.
You
It's
wouldn't
supposed to be
have
a
had much
family
to do.
park. Okay, anyway.
You could only ride that magic bike ride so many times.
Yeah. but it was
You'd get a
clean and
workout.
yeah, you had to find places that you could find cover. I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of people were going into that one place. What was it? The arcade.
yeah. There are
When
two.
it started raining, a lot of people would go in there.
Hmm.
Well, it didn't cost admission; it
Yeah.
just cost you to play in there or whatever.
Two suggestions I have for the well, three suggestions I have for the theme park at Owa, the park at Owa. One, maybe pick a different name, like the.
Why the park at Owa? They're on the Owa reservation.
eh,
They're
It's
the
like
park
it's
at
like
Owa.
renaming Magic Kingdom the park at Disney World.
Oh well,
Like they should probably call themselves like Owa Fun Park or Owa Adventure Park.
but they chose the park at Owa.
I'm just saying that name kind of sounds a little
Oh
generic,
well.
personally. Also, they need an indoor attraction. I don't care if it's bumper cars, a spinning indoor attraction, an interactive dark ride, just something because apparently it rains a lot there.
They do have a lot of land, so they do have a lot of
Yeah,
future.
they have like 600 acres or
Yeah, they
something.
have a lot of future plans.
Oh, yeah.
They want to have an RV resort,
Additional hotels, an outdoor water park.
condominiums.
Mm-hmm.
And once they get all those restaurants and shops filled in,
Yeah, there's going to be a Paula Dean's coming soon.
wow, it's gonna be full. That's gonna be a lot to do.
And they also need a water ride that gets you wet. Like a log.
Besides the weather.
Besides, yes.
The weather helped him out there.
Like Zamperla offers 8 teacups with water, and I think that would be a perfect addition.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That would be it's basically teacups that you get to splash people with.
Sort of like our ride.
Buccaneer Battle, yeah, except people will ride it. So then,
Well,
we,
people will ride Buccaneer Battle
yeah,
when they want to get wet and you're
yeah.
not paying for the water park. So
By the way, off topic, here's a tip. If you're at Six Flags Great America and the water park is closed due to capacity, and you don't want to wait in line and you just want to get wet, ride Buccaneer Battle. It almost never has a line and you're guaranteed to get soaked.
oh yeah, because everybody wants to like spray you with all
Yeah,
the free water guns that are on the
along the
outside
side,
rim.
yeah.
Yeah. You just have to wait for the person to come around
Yeah.
on the boat.
Let's
And they
see.
have no chance in certain areas because there's like three water guns right there. Boom, boom, boom.
And we were like, well, let's just bite the bullet and then deal with that long drive home. Or that would be really a long drive. The long drive back to our next hotel, and we were like, okay, let's see. And it actually took less time because we not only didn't have traffic, but it kind of felt like the I wouldn't say it felt like the Autobahn, but I don't think we ever had to stop really or slow
Right.
down.
But there was still a lot of traffic that was headed to the Gulf Shores.
Hmm.
On the other side,
Yeah.
there was a lot of traffic.
What are you gonna do at the Gulf Shores at night?
Well, they were trying to get to their destination because then Saturday they'd have Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh,
You
and
know?
something interesting about the Gulf Shores. We expected there to be a lot of seafood places. We did not expect there to be a lot of Mexican food places.
Right, and the lady at Wahlburgers said that it's the best that she came actually from up here.
Yeah.
She was from Illinois and she said the Mexican restaurants down there are really good. But we ate at
But yeah,
Wahlburgers.
we were like, this is weird.
Yeah.
I expected seafood and maybe like a cheeseburger
Or
place.
well, it did have a lot of places like what the Dells has and everything. But yeah, there was
A lot of Mexican food
it was
places.
like every block. Well,
It's
not
like-
probably not that many, and they weren't chain Mexican
No,
foods. They were all like family owned and like she said, authentic and really good. So, but
mhm.
we weren't staying there long, so hopefully everyone got all the business that they needed.
This movie, or no, I was gonna say something. I'm not going to because it might be uncomfortable. Uh,
So anyway, we drove back to the hotel. We stayed, not all the way back at the airport again because
stayed
we
at
had
a
to
different
cross
one.
that long bridge.
mhm.
So we stayed at another one that was on the tip of almost Louisiana, Mississippi.
Yeah, we went to a town place this night,
Yep.
and they had breakfast, so we ate breakfast, and then we were like, uh, that was the night, or that was the day of John McCain's funeral.
Right.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, soldier. Um, we didn't see the entire thing because, well, we were kind of time crunched. No offense, Mr. McCain. So we heard Cindy McCain, or no, not Cindy, Megan McCain, his daughter, and we heard Joe Lieberman say some stuff, which uh, he was pretty
Well,
funny.
we heard his son say that poem.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Then
then we did check out,
yeah,
and we were headed to Baton Rouge.
because we wanted to go to Dixie Landing,
Yep.
and
Because there were how many coasters there?
four.
4 coasters. But then again, we ran
Or
into
no.
3. Here, look at the. They didn't have brochures. They had printed off.
And they only had
park
printed off maps for the theme parks, or for the water park, which was interesting. No, there were 3. Galaxy, Raging Cajun. Yeah.
But then again, we ran into weather.
Yeah. So, even though we arrived like 10 minutes early, we didn't want to get drenched, so we just stayed in the car and just tried to wait out the storm.
In which anybody that was in the water park, they pulled them out,
And they
they
probably
had a
wanted
pretty good
refunds.
size. Well, no, didn't give refunds, but they had a pretty good size.
We'll get to that in the two
Unabridged.
in the too intense for this discussion, I
Right.
guess.
But anyway, they had an area that they could wait out the rain or the storm. It wasn't that you just had to get out of the water. You had to get out of the water park.
Yeah. So finally the storm ended.
It's okay.
I went in and I rode the Galaxy coaster, I rode the log flume, and I rode the carousel. And then I left.
There were a lot of people that were still coming in for that water park, though. Jeez.
And now we are going to
oh, and
pause
get
it.
this. No, 1 second though.
Okay.
Okay, so when you go to your regular amusement parks like Six Flags, what we know a lot, they use like a wooden spoon or whatever, a dowel or whatever you want to call it, and they feel around, and you have to you give them your electronics, your keys,
Yeah.
whatever. There, okay, you put your electronics on this table,
I never carry electronics, so I'm okay.
but you had to physically take everything out of your bag for them to look. And then they would just look in your bag and they'd look at what you have, and you put everything back in your bag, and there you go off.
Okay, so I told you that I rode the 3 rides. I only rode 1 out of the 3 coasters,
And we ran into a lot of rain
and
ugh.
then I left, and that's the wholesome, happy, fun version.
Well, then before we came back,
No,
we went.
we're
to,
going
no, wait.
to.
We went to the hotel.
No,
the first
stop,
hotel that
stop,
we stayed
stop,
in.
stop. We're going to pause it. We're going to stop it right now, and we're going to come back, and what you're gonna miss, and is gonna be in a separate video, is gonna be why I only rode 3 rides at Dixie Landing, and why I only rode 1 of the 3 coasters, because my name is Roller Coaster Rider. So we'll be right back. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up? I'm Roller Coaster Rider, and welcome back.
Okay.
There was an intermission because we were describing in detail why I wasn't a huge fan of Dixie Landing. Kay is gonna go to bed. She works long days. She works long hours, preparing for the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Unless you want to tell them where you really work. So anyway, after Dixie Landing, it was raining, so I was like, I just want to be inside. One of the food places, there are 2 food places that I had never been to. I had never been to Waffle House, and I had never been to Church's Chicken. I had heard about Church's Chicken from spill.com. So I was like, well, I want to try them. Uh, so I went there. We got like a 5 piece plus a side of fries and a biscuit. Church's chicken really good. Way better. I like it better than Chick-fil-A. I like it better than Popeyes. Probably better than even than KFC. I don't know if it's better than Browns. It's really good, and I think the secret is that they have honey in the breading, so that makes it really good, and that makes it like really juicy and stuff. So it's like, oh, so good. I'm making myself drool now. So then after that, then Kay, um, as mentioned earlier, she can't have certain food items, and that includes gluten. So we instead went into the Sonic, which was close by, I think. It was pretty close by. And another reason why I wanted to do Sonic was to take advantage of the happy hour, where from like 2 to 4 or 2 to 5, somewhere around there, you get half priced shakes and ices and stuff. So we decided to take advantage of that. I think I got the Hawaiian Punch icy, something like that, or the it was red. It was reddish, I think. I can't remember. And Kay got a burger and fries. Side note, I'm not a huge fan of Sonic because their fries are really salty. And in case you're wondering, she got a Coke or a Pepsi, whichever one they sell. Okay, so then we drove. I got to talk to her about my experience at the park, and then we check into the hotel. Uh, what I love about the Fairfields and courtyards and residence inns and stuff is that sometimes at the front desk they'll give out like free things. And in this one they were giving out free oatmeal raisin cookies. They were really good. It was like finally some anyway. Uh anyway, I was just mentally exhausted and pretty much physically drained. So we go to the room, or we check in, we go to the room, and I just pretty much just lay down in the bed. Um I have Kate turns on the TV, and I think the movie Made in Manhattan with Jennifer Lopez is playing. I haven't seen that movie, so plug for my others plug for my other series fresh from my library. That might be a movie in the future. Um, Let me see. So yeah, I eat the stuff, and then I just pretty much conk out. I'm just exhausted. Kay returns the rental car while I'm sleeping, and by the time I wake up, it's like 3 a.m. We needed to get up by like 6 a.m. because I don't know if it was mentioned, but we had like an 8 a.m. flight. So we take the run. So no, we Kay returned the rental car the night before, the night of. We check out. Oh, and fun fact: the reason why some hotel chains in the Marriott brand are called Fairfield Inn is because Fairfield was the name of Willard Marriott's farm. So there you go. The more you know. Fun fact. So anyway, then we check into Louisiana. We then check into the Louisiana airport. Um, we board, also American. Uh, I was listening. I was we This time we went by. Or never mind. I'll skip that part. That's not important. Uh, then we go on the flight. The flight is pretty much half full. There's empty rows. There were even empty rows in first class, but they didn't offer them, so whatever. So Kay and we were sitting in 2 seats, but I figured why not? I'm gonna move to another seat. The seat that I move into, I am like so relaxed. I get to recline. It is like, oh, it's the kind of bliss you want after a hot, stressful trip. Let's see. I don't remember what I get. I think I got apple juice, and maybe I got a biscotti. I think. I th- Uh, I think so. I don't know. Maybe I also got cranberry juice. Whatever. That's not important. Anyway, so that's pretty much the end of the trip. One thing I do want to say, if you made it this far, is that O'Hare's tram people mover thing is currently down until like 2020. So it would. So if you're flying, or if you're planning to fly out of O'Hare on either or fly into or out of O'Hare on like Thanksgiving Day or Christmas, you're gonna be really out of luck because all they have right now are buses, and the buses go around the lot like 3 times before they finally go to the airport from the drop off area. So it might be cheaper to just get a get a taxi or something from where you live, or I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Um, Check out Owa. It's a fun park. Uh, if you like go karts and water parks, I guess check out Waterville. Ranger would be the better expert on water parks than me. And if you're in Louisiana, what the heck, and it's guaranteed to be sunny, check out Dixie Landing. Okay, bye.